with some pre-video stuff. So, due to Storm's general laziness with making this video, some things have happened. Two big things specifically. Neither of which are going to be talked about in this video at length. The leak mainly because it's not important, aside from the leaked personal info, which does suck. But I at least want to touch on the lawsuit. Actually, do you mind doing this part, Storm?
Well, I was going to be quiet, but I'm fine with talking about this for a little bit. I understand that there are a lot of implications with the actual action itself, but until the whole case is actually and fully settled, I'm just gonna steer clear of talking about it. Yes, this could have heavy implications for the monster taming genre as a whole. Yes, this is a very weird thing to do after a year of Palworld being out with no response. But at the end of the day, I'm just someone who's admittedly a bit indifferent to this whole thing at the moment. I just really don't have the time to worry about it as someone who stresses about a lot already. It's just... Sorry, that went on a bit longer than I had hoped.
It's all good. You have to rant sometimes, and this was something you've been thinking about for a while. Anyway, this video is going to be talking about the positives of Pokemon, in Storm's opinion. Obviously, it is a biased opinion. Storm's experience with the series, as well as a few criticisms he does have towards the end of the video. Now, it's going to be understandable that there are people who will not like this video or agree with Storm's views about it. That is perfectly fine. Just all I ask is respect, and be respectful. Anyway, I think that's enough rambling for now. Enjoy the video, and sorry that it's taken so long to come out.
Yeah, again, apologies for the long wait. So, do I even need to say my opinions about the series since you saw my little talk earlier? I do? Alright then, I fucking love this series so much. Now, granted, it's not like I think the series is perfect. There's a lot of issues with how Game Freak and Creatures Inc. handles the games after all. Still, I hope to show why I like this series so much and how it's made me into the person that I am today. Let's start with the obvious. How exactly did I get into Pokemon? I was a kid. Okay, it's a bit more than that, obviously, but that is generally what it boils down to. When I was around 6 or 7 years old, I got a Game Boy Advance SP for either my birthday or Christmas. I don't exactly remember which. Either way, I remember that one of the first games I got was Pokemon Ruby, which was my very first Pokemon game. Now, as a kid, I was, as you can imagine, very bad at Pokemon, and I don't remember getting very far, and getting a bit lost, admittedly. Now, over the years and through the generations, I did get better at the games. It would be weird if I didn't. So, if I had to give my general opinions of each generation as I played them, they would be the following. As a side note, Gen 1 or Gen 2 are not included in this because, God, I don't want to. And I would prefer to go through them with enhancement hacks personally. So, Gen 3 was fun for what it was. I liked it as a kid, and it's still probably my comfort generation. Gen 4 was good. It was when I really started getting into the franchise. Gen 5 was probably my second favorite. Probably. Gen 6 was okay. It's when I started feeling a bit iffy about the series. Gen 7 I really enjoyed. It got me back into the series, if you can believe it. Gen 8 was very enjoyable. I liked Sword and Shield for what they were. And Gen 9, performance issues aside, is my new favorite generation. Like, I don't really want to go into my opinions of each Gen too much. I'm just giving my general thoughts about them. I am also a small thing to note. I am fairly forgiving on my opinions just because I focus on having fun with my games because they are, at the end of the day, games for kids. Now, I do have my issues with the games, especially with my favorites. Would you believe if I said this doesn't really affect my opinion of the games that much? Anyway, there's a lot I could say about the series, bad games and ROM hacks included, but I actually want to take a small break to talk about why I love this series so much. If you can tell, Pokemon is a series that has influenced me a lot, and it's one of my favorite series of all time. it's something that I don't think will change no matter how bad the series gets. At least I don't think it will change. But why is that the case for me? Sure, it's not exactly uncommon for people to have a series they'll always enjoy, Pokemon being no exception to that matter. Well, truth be told, it did help me out of a bit of a rut that I was in a few years ago and started me on my current path of art. Yeah, it's a bit weird to hear, isn't it? Anyway, I won't go into specifics, but let's keep it as simple as the pandemic fucking sucked. Being stuck at home, always being worried about my own health and my family's health, worrying about school on top of this because I was still in college at the time, and currently am, by the way. It was not fun. It didn't help that the classes I was taking at the time, I didn't really understand, which, as you can imagine, led to me being more than a bit stressed. Luckily, I did get a chance to breathe when that summer came around, which is when I binged a specific anime. I'll talk about that series and more later. And played various Pokemon fan games, which really got me into wanting to make a Pokemon ROM hack of my own. That'll be something I talk about later. But anyway, this series of events led me to Pokemon Temple Rising, a fan game based around bonding and traveling with a Meloetta. It isn't complete, and I don't know if development is still going on, but for what is there, it is very fun with some cool ideas. This one game, along with the anime I mentioned, is what lit a creative spark in me that is currently helping me write this script today. After I got that spark, I proceeded to start writing a fanfic that I'm still currently writing, Pokemon Rising Melody. Hey, fun fact, did you know that writing with a paper napkin plan and off the seat of your pants with ideas that, God, why did you think of them that long ago, is not the best idea? Yeah, it's been rough, and I would learn that over the years, but honestly, I still am overall happy with how it's turning. I also, not long after that, decided to take a stab at drawing, which honestly has turned out really good. Did it help that I was mainly focusing on stuff I liked, in this case Pokemon? Yeah, it did, but I did eventually start to branch out and start doing more of my art. So all that being said, why am I rambling on and on about how this series has affected me? Well, because I want to talk about Pokemon, and I don't feel like talking about the various things that usually surround this franchise at the moment. Be it the games, the Pokemon, the lore and theories, I just didn't feel like talking about that stuff right now. So I figured, why not just ramble on about Pokemon for however long this video has gone on for, while talking about how it's shaped who I am. Am I trying to make any point with this video? Not really. Just something I wanted to try at the start. Wanted to talk about something I love with all my heart. Speaking of loving with all my heart, yeah, it's time to actually be critical about the series. Yeah, okay, so, yeah, despite all my eternal love for this series, I do actually have my problems with it. A good amount, as a matter of fact. So, to keep this video from going on much longer, because I know people have somewhat short attention spans recently, I'm going to focus on 3 major things that really have been nagging at me. To preface these issues, I just want to say that these are coming from someone who is very much a fairly casual player. I don't really play online that much. I just play through the games very casually with basically no extra challenges like Nuzlocke, monotype runs, or stuff like that. Well, that being said, let's get the first one out of the way. Performance. Admittedly, I am a fairly lax on performance overall. I genuinely just play games for the cool graphics, the gameplay, and the good story, and in the case of Pokemon, the cool and cute monsters. But God, Scarlet and Violet could have used a bit more time in the oven. Speaking of time in general, that's kind of my second issue. The time between releases. Now, at the time of writing this, I will give Pokemon Company credit for waiting at least a full year to release Legends ZA. But God, they could be so much better about this. I will always think back to the 2 months between the Gen 4 remakes and Legends Arceus, with Gen 9 releasing the same year as Legends Arceus. God, that was... Whew! For the last thing on my mind, and as contradictory as this might sound, I would like something new gameplay-wise. No, I don't mean a regional gimmick, even though I do like most of them. I mean something new to shake up the gameplay a little bit. Honestly, just something as simple as making the main game playable, as all double battles would be a good addition. It can even be optional for all I care, just add it. Oh, God. Anyway, got that negativity out of my system now. Who was I? Alright. Pokemon is a series that I love from the bottom of my heart, and I'll always love this series in some way, no matter what happens in the future. It's what made me who I am today and why I'm making this video now. Sure, it definitely deserves better, what with all the recent events that have happened with both it and creatures and, oh God, so much. And it could be so much more. Still, it's my favorite series for a reason, and I hope to talk about it more in the future with you all. Be it ideas for fan games, potential story ideas, stuff like that. So, that's the end of this video. Again, apologies that this is taking so long to come out. I've had the script done for, I want to say, like 3 weeks or so at this point. I just haven't been able to get to recording this because school is a thing. God, ugh, still got a project to do. Anyway, I do thank you all for listening to the end if you have been watching, and I'm not going to ask for subscribers or likes right now. I am currently way too small to even be thinking about that. Yes, it could work, but I want to be humble at least to start. Anyway, I do hope you all enjoyed the video. Have yourselves a fantastic day, and take care.